What's the one thing that we all need but can't make more of? Time. We've all had the experience of needing to be 3 places at once, but simply not having enough time to travel between them all. This is an experience that those at Sarah Lawrence College are well familiarized with. Meet Jasmine, a 21-year-old film student at Sarah Lawrence. Unfortunately, during her sophomore year, she slept through the housing lottery, which meant that she had to bite the bullet and get housed in Hill House. Because she's in the dorm furthest from main campus, this means that she's constantly on the run to try and reach all of her commitments on time. Jasmine's job to be done is to 1. Get to her classes and events on time, 2. Save as much money as possible, and 3. Beef up her college transcript by participating in a lot of events. Unfortunately, there are a few problems standing in Jasmine's way. 1. She simply doesn't have enough time to get to all of her events on foot. 2. She doesn't have a reliable form of transport on campus. And 3. She can't afford to have her car on campus. This leaves Jasmine with 4 options. 1. She can take a gamble with the current shuttle system, not knowing if it will show up on time or at all. 2. Rely on her friends with cars on campus to drive her around, which she can't always do. 3. Call an Uber or Lyft, which she can't afford to every time that she needs to go somewhere on campus. Or 4. Give up some of her commitments. When it comes to our venture, our TAM would be all Sarah Lawrence students, staff, and employees. Our SAM would be people on campus who actually use the shuttle system. And our SOM would be people on campus who actively rely on the shuttle service to get around. In order to get real feedback from Sarah Lawrence students, we decided to conduct a survey and personal interviews. What we found is that overwhelmingly, over 60% of the responses said that they'd call a shuttle to Hill House or the Barbara Walters Center. This makes sense because, as you can see on the map, Hill House is the furthest point on campus and the Barbara Walters Center is in the middle of campus. When asked how long students would wait on average for a shuttle to show up, 70% said that they'd wait 10 to 15 minutes, while only 7% said that they'd wait less than 5 minutes for it to show. The problem with the current shuttle system is that the timing is terribly inconsistent. Sometimes you'll get lucky and it'll show up within minutes, while other times you're left waiting for over half an hour, not knowing whether or not the shuttle is actually on its way. This is where our idea comes in. Our big idea would include instating 2 timed loops for shuttles to follow along campus. The West Loop would hit Hill House, the Sports Center, Heimbold, and the Barbara Walters Center before looping back to Hill, while the East Loop would hit the Barbara Walters Center, Westlands Gate, Bates, and the Science Center before looping back to the campus center. Additionally, GPS trackers would be attached to each shuttle, allowing students to see exactly where the shuttles are. Our small idea would be along the same as our big idea, except that there would only be 1 loop for the shuttle to follow. In either case, medical shuttles would be separate from regular shuttles in order to keep them open for those who medically need them. We also estimate that these loops would take around 7 to 10 minutes. When it comes to our 2-week experiment, we would recruit students to use our updated system and ask that they leave any potential feedback or unthought of solutions in order to improve any circumstances.
Our launch strategy is fairly straightforward. Our venture aims to improve an already existing system and get more use out of service that isn't fully utilized. We would start by appealing to the Dean of Studies, and once we get an approval, all students, staff, and employees would be alerted through a campus-wide email. Following that alert, we would share the shuttle schedule and map via email or by posting it throughout campus. The first 100 to 1,000 customers would come from our existing student base, and their interest would be in response to the advertisements posted. Furthermore, as an existing shuttle system is already in place, this wouldn't be too costly of a project. Our pricing strategy revolves around improving the customer experience, so there would be no charges to take the shuttle. Any fees that need to be paid will come out of the general college fees that students already pay, and this would be an entirely not-for-profit venture. Overall, this also isn't a costly project. Our major expenses are primarily the wages for the student workers, gas costs, any maintenance needed for the shuttle, and a one-time fee to buy 2 GPS trackers. Most of the money to pay the student drivers should come from federal work study, but if not, it would cost about $1,100 to pay a 10-person team, minimum wage for 8 hours a week. The GPS trackers also should cost about $100, and on a weekly basis, the gas and maintenance cost would add up to around $100. As this would be widely circulated across campus, it would not cost us to recruit customers. Our current main competition would be the already existing shuttle campus, and since there aren't many alternatives to the system, students may choose to take a car if they have one on campus, or they may choose to pay a high fee for a short Uber or Lyft ride, or they might just have to walk. While our system may be a bit more expensive in order to pay student workers after federal work study, the gas and maintenance costs should remain the same. And when it comes to comparing the quality between the current system and our proposed system, it's easy to see that our solution far surpasses the current system. Shuttles would arrive in a timely manner and they would run on set time schedules so people wouldn't have to wait, and students, staff, and employees would be able to see exactly where the shuttle is by using the GPS tracker. In conclusion, there's also just one clear solution here. Sarah Lawrence hosts a number of diverse students, staff, and employees that all have different schedules, different needs to get around quickly, but doesn't actually provide them with a way to reliably do so. Our solution is to build off the current shuttle system and implement 2 set loops around campus with set time schedules, which can be found either online or through a number of posters placed across campus. This improved system would not only lessen the stress on both students and employees alike, but would also improve morale overall across the campus body. Thank you for listening, and thank you to the judges. And thank you, Roger.